Open your mind to the way, the conscious way, the way of conscious mindfulness. Hey, see everybody here once again, and welcome to the way of conscious mindfulness. So before we begin, come in. When you come in, come and say hello, put some likes, some loves on the screen, show your chi, show your energy, share the vibe, Care Bear if you dare, if you know what I mean, and welcome to the show. So firstly, who the heck am I and what's this show all about? My name is Sifu Bogi. Sifu means guide, muse, somebody who points you along the way, who guides you on your path. Bogi means the balancer between the chaos and the calmness. And it is my martial art name, my healing name, and my spiritual name. And for the last 37 years, I have been studying the Taoist arts. The Tao means the path, the way, the balance. And some of those different arts are Tai Chi, Qigong, Tit Ta, Tui Na, Chinese massage, acupressure, reflexology, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, Taoist philosophy, and many other different techniques and skills. And because my Sifu is very much believed, everything you learn enhances everything else you do. Now, I'm a little bit glitchy at the moment, apparently, so I'll try to balance off that energy to get the camera back in line. But hopefully the guests should be fine, even if my camera's a bit glitchy. So, what is this show all about? Well, this show is The Way of Conscious Mindfulness, which is a regular, ongoing Facebook Live and podcast show discussing spirituality and science, balancing it with, let's blast that signal a little bit more, it seemed to be coming together now, so balancing it with health and well-being and mind, body and spirit with a Taoist twist. What does the Tao mean? The Tao means, of course, the way, the path, the balance. Now, surprise, this isn't a normal show. Anything with me in it is most certainly not normal. Each show, we either have a subject or a guest. Today, we have a very cool guest from Instagram. I'm doing my best to bring some of those those mighty Instagram guests, those mighty Instagram players over from the other side and bring them here to Facebook Live and Facebook. And our goal, our aim is to have an open discussion to help us all find new techniques, new skills, new ways to balance our very own personal way, path, or Tao. So, without further ado, I will bring the awesome, the very cool Meta Hyper, also known as Stephen, onto the show in a few seconds with a few twitches of a few buttons, a few twizzles, a few twirls in 3, 2, 1. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm great.
Awesome, cool. So welcome, Stephen. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. You, like I say, actually, it shows on your picture. On Instagram, you are known as Meta Hyper, and it's great to have you on the show. So I'm going to ask you the niche question. Actually, no. First, let's have a quick look, see who's about audience-wise. So we have Carla. Hello, Carla. How are you doing tonight? We have the mighty Jake under the guise of the Way of Conscious Mindfulness. He's another host. So Care Bear Share. Yes, Jake here. Yes, he is indeed. Pamela. Hi, Pamela. How are you doing? Kathy's here. Happy Friday night, Sifu. Happy Friday afternoon to you, Kathy. I think your afternoon. Ria. Hello, Ria. How are you doing? Good to see you here. Pamela saying, Sifu, you may know what this means. I kept hearing Con Mao. Do you know what it means? Yes, but I'm not telling you. Well, not yet anyway. Maybe later. Care Bear share. Yes, Care Bear share if you dare. Pamela says, Mal like cow. Yes, I know. Yeah, yeah. Come Mal. Yeah. Indeed. Right. Okay. So let's talk more do. So, as I said, Stephen, this is your show. This is the way of Stephen. Stephen Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Reminded or Meta. I got so used to knowing you as Meta Hyper.
It's
It's now
hyper meta.
Hyper Meta even. So the dyslexia's kicking in. Yes, I was so used to knowing you as Hyper Meta that I only just found that your real name. So, but it's all good actually because my real name. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. My real name is actually Paul Brighton, but most people know me as C3 Boggy because that's my name. But anyway, enough about me. So, Stephen, this is your show. This is the way of Stephen Lisa or Hypermeta. So, what is your way? What is your personal Tao?
Well, I guess it would be mainly chaos magic. Yeah, probably just finding the right timing. Just kind of embedding my own interpretation of things in a clear manner, and finding that clear manner through practices such as meditation and qigong to clear my habitual programming to help me better respond to the moment and interact with my environment in a innocent and pure way.
Cool. Chaos magic. I like chaos magic. That's very me. Yeah, there's a yeah, that's very cool. So I mean, so what you because what you do is very unique and very cool. What is it that you do?
Well, I do a lot of meditation. I guess the four pillars of my practice would be concentration, visualization, meditation, and contemplation. And practicing those four pillars as much as possible brings in the foundation for uh, energetic processing or energetic capacity, which the body is the temple. And so the more you practice these things, the more you tweak your body's ability to process information, and your logic and your belief systems come into play and influence your energetic output. The energy you bring in uh, is influenced obviously by all that, and so is put out in a different with your spin on the matter. Spin on the matter goes deep into say that it's toroidal. But I guess
And
I do. Yeah,
no,
I do a
carry
lot
on.
of writing. Mainly, my system is a holistic system. It involves a lot of mythological interpretation of life events, and so creating my own mythology using the power of symbolism as gateways for chi through the mental uh, aspect of it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Imbuing those emotional fuel through ritualism, like the concentration and visualization would come into play, and with the contemplation of the symbol as well. And so that symbol would thus be empowered in the subconscious with meaning, and that meaning would thus later affect the feedback you receive from reality. And so it creates a feedback loop. That so you I guess I would interact with reality based on the archetypes that my subconscious is programmed to interpret reality through.
Okay. So what does that mean? For you, what does that mean? So you're creating what?
Um, so charm and charisma and confidence comes into play, like a hypnotist who's programming a subject with something like they want to quit smoking or whatnot. Um, Reality time is repetition. Everything is repetition, habit, motion. Your interactions with your environment is all repetition. So it's one big hypnotic spell. So you, as the hypnotist of your reality, is your everything is a trance. You like so when those symbols are acting as agents subconsciously, those symbols and what they're programmed to do in terms of influence your actions in your environment, your actions would be archetypally interpreted. I believe that everything, the higher dimensions, uh, the information in higher dimensions is organized symbolically and by association. And so the way you move through your environment is symbolic. And its symbolic impression is, it echoes throughout all of reality and the universe. And so what I'm doing would be embedding reality with my symbolic presence. And so my presence as a being here right now in this reality, the way I move through and interact with people would be totally symbolic. And so time would respond to that, because with myth acts as like a temporal program. And so the more you can legendary or mythical in terms of how you project your symbolism into reality, the more time will respond to you, because it's programmed to do that through myth. And so I call it chronocharisma, which is like giving an impression or enchanting time with symbolism, and through that one finds immortality in the astral realm. And so that's the goal.
Cool. And I'm actually playing one of your videos from Instagram now. Sorry, guys, I can't actually make it much bigger. I don't think it's going to let me do that. But it is. Oh, actually, what happens if I do this? So if I do that and do that quickly, but yeah, I love the way that I don't know if you guys will have to tell me if you can see that on the screen. I'm just seeing if there's a bigger version. No, that doesn't come up any bigger. Okay, no, but yeah. So the whole point is the way you're actually moving your whole body, and you're keeping it flowing as you're twisting and turning and moving. Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe that dance and all movement is the processing and projection, the receptivity and projectivity of chi, or universal energy. And so dance, qigong, whatever it is you do, is the act of physically moving the universe, and literally moving emotionally, like a song would move a person.
Yeah, and yeah, and it's really cool, because what I find really interesting about the way you move is that in qigong there's a thing called spontaneous movement. And spontaneous movement is the way you sort of learn it. Is you learn lots of different qigongs, like different dance moves, just like in dancing, and you learn the different qigongs, and the eventual aim is that you just spontaneously go with the flow. And that's what I see in what I would say the Boggyism is. He's a Taoist, and he's actually a reincarnated qigong practitioner, because obviously there's a few little pops in there. I see the old bopping and popping, as they say in the old dance moves. But yeah, the way you're flowing and continuously moving it is very much in the sort of the essence of qigong, and like I say, is I find it really very cool. I do like watching what you do. It is very cool. And how does it? I'll throw a question out there. How does it make you feel when you do this? What is it just movement to you? Is there something going on as well? What are the feelings you get?
What I'm doing right there, I'm in my ritual grounds in my hometown. There's stone sculptures set up, and each of the stone sculptures represents something symbolically, and so it's an externalization of my subconscious mythology. And so it creates an environment, a totally symbolic environment that I can move through. And the way I move through it, I am pushing the energy through it. Thus, the feedback loop created through my subconscious and reality is greatly enhanced. And so what I'm doing right there is I'm standing on the platform, which is the middle of the ritual grounds, and the platform represents the place where the UFO would land to enlighten humanity and to help humanity ascend. I'm a big believer in the UFO presence. I had a couple experiences with that, and which started my whole practice. And so a part of my practice would be to call down the UFO or alien presence in the collective unconscious of humanity through the butterfly effect. So the flow, doing that is what I'm doing right there is I'm trying to find a totally new and fresh way of movement, a totally pure and innocent way of interacting with the winds of the four corners. So to embed it into the material world. But the key, I believe, is to grace is I guess it's all about grace. Like, grace is a blessing. Like, it provides a fresh resurrection of self. Like, it's a total renewal of self. So if we can do that in the moment, like moment to moment, is find a new way to interact with our environment, then that would provide a much more coherent atmosphere. It's an electrically charged atmosphere for us to grow gracefully. So, like, yeah, I guess because habit keeps us from finding those new alien territories. I have to move into a more light spot right now.
Oh, you still there?
Yep. Do you have?
What are you doing?
Oh. Am I here?
Yeah, you're still
Am
here.
I good?
Still hearing you. You
Okay.
went a little bit, lost you for a second, I think, but you're back.
Okay.
You're back.
So
So you're, yeah, because I find, like I say, I find it's really cool because of the fact of the stuff that you're doing spontaneously is my teachers taught. You know, but they would also teach is that there will be people out there who will find their flow, that will find it spontaneously. And what you're saying is that or if I'm interpreting it right, is what you're saying is that the movements you'll create, the movements you're doing and what you're doing is creating the frequency for you to communicate and contact and be with these other energies, with these other beings. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. It's like finding the channel, like finding the right geometry to perfectly embed into the right timing at the right place in the right time, to perfectly embed through the butterfly effect the wish or the prayer for collective ascension.
Yeah. One of our fellow hosts, the Sifu of ceremonies, the Sifu shaman, saying, "Shine your light, brother." Those are some graceful movements, very fluid, energetic set of practices. I agree. Yeah, it is very, very cool. It's very. I think this is the whole point. Is one of the things as a Taoist, is you find your own way, you find your own Tao. And I always say, I can teach you thousands of Qigongs, easy. That's not a problem. But it's finding the ones that work for you and finding your flow, and that's what I like with what you do. Is the whole point of is that you are finding your flow. You're doing that spontaneous movement, and the fact that you don't stop. The biggest issue I have with some Qigong practitioners is their movements are very static, are a little bit rigid. But you're very flowy. And the whole point in Tai Chi and in Qigong is that the aim is eventually there are no stopping movements. There are certain Qigongs where it's a little bit more rigid and a little has like square, what I call square moments. But a lot of Qigong is meant to be circular, is meant to move. And that's what I like about what you do. There is that patterns, there is those forms, and you've sort of said it already, and I've said this in the past, is that the people talk about Reiki, and Reiki is an energy system, and there are different, or in the West we use symbols. Well, traditionally in China and Japan they don't use symbols, they use tones. And like cymatics, when you create a tone on a metal plate, like with the speaker, you have a speaker and it's pumping out a tone, that, and you have this water and sand structure, or something similar, it creates patterns, and those patterns are the shapes that what the Reiki symbols actually wasn't meant to be, is that the Reiki symbol is the shape of the tone that you're trying to manifest. Now, the thing with Qigong and the thing with what you do is you're using your body to create that symbol. You're using your body to create that frequency, that tone. And I like the way you said about using your body to tune into the frequency of other dimensions, of other beings. And I know for a lot of people that's really woo-woo, but I know because I was part of some of these experiments, or I've seen certain things. My teachers talk about a thing called folding, where you would, rather than astrally traveling from one point to another, or even physically traveling from one point to another, you would fold space. So point A and point B becomes the same point, because technically in quantum physics, everywhere is interconnected all at the same time. Everything is happening all at once. So you can fold space. And how they would fold space is they would do a very similar thing to what you're doing. They would be doing movements, flowing with the energy until they find the right frequency, and suddenly they disappear.
Exactly.
And I know this happens because I've been told I've done it myself. Is that where suddenly somebody disappears out of frequency? And I know, like, again, for a lot of people this is very woo-woo and very, I'm not sure about this, but I actually know that there has been scientific experiments where they've had certain people in a room and suddenly that person's disappeared, and on the camera there were several cameras looking at that person and they're not there anymore, and suddenly they reappear. And they know, and this is where they talked about multiverse theory, and they've talked about different dimensions. So there are people out there, they know they exist, and certain scientists have done experiments with certain practitioners that have shown that happens, but they can't explain how it happens, can't explain how the human body can tune itself to the right frequency so it literally disappears out of this reality into another reality. But I also know that a lot of the agencies around the world, they very much talk about fairies are real, unicorns are real, Sasquatch are real, and they simply exist in another dimension, and that those dimensions at certain places in the universe, or certain times of the year when the planet rotates at a certain point and goes through space and hits a certain energy, those certain dimensions become stronger and more intensified, and things pop in and out of our reality. I've actually heard that said by certain agencies, from certain people. And when I first heard it, it's like, am I dreaming? What? You believe in fairies? What? And yeah, they say they're different realities, and this whole fact. So this ability to use your body, literally, where is it? Turn your body into a tuning fork and literally create the vibration, create the energy to do many different things. And I found it really, really cool, and spontaneous qigong is a big thing in the true martial arts, in the true spiritual things. What you do would be called spontaneous qigong. And the spontaneous qigong, it can heal, it can activate different portals, it can do past life regression, it can do so much stuff, because you're literally using your body in a way that you find the different frequencies and tones that activate different things. that. But you already knew that, but I'm just putting it in a different way to the audience. So the audience can sort of get it and understand it. But it is so freaking cool. I mean, even if you just look at it as you're pulling some shapes, you know, they're really bloody cool shapes. But you know, that will actually keep you healthy. I mean, you've got a pretty good physique. You know, it helps tone up the body. It's, you know, it's a really cool thing. So, you know, keep doing what you're doing, my friend.
Yeah.
It works.
What I tell people who are just starting out or who are interested in it is the key to chi. The key to ki. What I like to say is the torus, is the toroidal donut folding in on itself. Like there's a concept called morphogenetic fields, that everything is its own field, a morphogenetic field, and it's all connected in larger fields. And so I believe the shape of those fields is the torus, and that's the key to is to finding the right folding in and out is to emulate those motions.
Yeah. And anybody who knows me knows I got qigong for that. There is a couple of Taurus qigongs, but yeah, that folding and twisting goes very much into. I love dragon energy. Dragon energy is very spirally and twisty. You go into the drunken qigong and drunken energy, and it doesn't mean you actually have to drink alcohol, but it's a whole fact of that. You know, a drunken person, you know, they're always tilting on their edge. They're always moving, you know, and that's the whole point.
Sorry, there have been times when I feel drunk on the power, sure, for my influence over my conscious, my awareness of, and my just the coordination of it all.
Yeah, 100%. What you're doing is a form of qigong. You know, you're a natural qigong practitioner. You found, like I'd say, you know, you're a reincarnation of a qigong practitioner. That's my interpretation of it. But it doesn't matter what words you use. The fact that you can do it, and the whole point is that what you're doing. So it's you know, you're doing a form of Neigong or Taoist yoga. You're doing a form of Qigong, you know, because the whole point of Qigong is any exercise that generates more energy than you lose. Now, so that's a question for you. You know, when you do this at the end, do you feel tired or do you feel rejuvenated?
No, it's always a much more a much stronger. It's always even just the littlest raising up of my arms and pushing them down is there's a much stronger sense of stability, lightness, coordination, like I said, and just focus all around, and it just it coheres everything in the body, mentally, emotionally. But I've found that processing emotions is so much more. It's like I crave intense emotional experiences because those emotions feel like like that right there.
Yeah.
Those emotions are fuel, and each emotion, you know, it fuels your body in a different way. But yeah, it's always more energy than I put into it, I get out.
Yeah, and because this as a practitioner, as a spontaneous qigong practitioner, you know what I'm seeing. I know, you know, the Taoists have certain interpretations, and it's like, yeah, that you're releasing cha, you're releasing negative energy. That's actually that one would be activating the liver, so it's releasing livid anger, frustration. You know, it's the whole point. And yeah, you know, the fact that you say, you know, that it makes you more energized at the end is, like I said, that's what true qigong means. Qigong, you shouldn't feel, you know, exercise, we tend to feel tired at the end of it, but when you turn your exercise into qigong, at the end of it, you feel more vitalized. You have more energy than you began with. Like with meditation, if you're just staring at something, you know, it may do nothing, it may do something. But when you're doing it in meditation, so you're breathing and you're allowing yourself to relax more and more and more, it expands the consciousness. So qigong expands the the body. Neigung expands the emotions, and Shengung or meditation expands the mind. And the end result is that everything you do is a Shengung, Neigung, and Qigong, or is an energy exercise, a meditational exercise, and a emotion releasing exercise. So the whole point of what you're doing, the fact you're doing it is that you're doing it and forgetting everything else. That's your meditation. The fact that afterwards you feel more energized than you began, that's your Qigong. And if it's making you feel good as well, not just energized but feeling good, that is your Taoist yoga or Neigong. So is that you are your own practitioner. And that's what's so cool. And that's why when I found you, when I saw the videos, I wanted to, the whole point is, guys, is that, like I said, I can easily teach you loads of stuff. But if you can find your way and find your own balance or pick up a couple of things, but, just go and do it. Be bold. Be like Stephen here. Be bold and just do it. Don't give a flying fig what it looks like or.
Well, that's the thing. You've made a couple points that imply that individuality and the unique a person's practice is their own, and there's not enough individuality in society nowadays. It's like people, I believe individuation is a big factor in it. Like the ego and the personality is the programming, the operating system that determines how your subconscious processes energy. Like, and so the better you individuate and choose your own way of thinking and believing, and the more unique your symbols are to yourself, that's really important, I believe.
Oh. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, it is your own flow. It's all about your own flow, and that's what's so blooming cool about what you do. You can tell it's your own version of it. It's your own style, and it's really cool. It is really cool because like I say, you can see that it's energizing you. You can see that it's giving you the energy you need, and that's what's cool. That's so yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Bring you back. Yeah.
Keep a funny dance.
Keep doing what you're doing. That's the bottom line. Keep doing what you're doing, most definitely.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay. So is there anything else you sort of want to bring in before we start to wrap up?
Yeah, that was mainly the points I wanted to make. Was it's all about your energetic capacity and the efficiency at which you process information, and it's a holistic process. I mean, like your belief system comes into play, and your belief system affects your movement through reality, and it's your personality. It's everything that comes into play. Your emotions, emotional, mental, physical. All of that together is spiritual.
What he said. It is very, very good. Everything is mind, body, spirit. Everything is that mix, and that's there are still people, the old Piscean energy of people trying to keep things separate, and you've got to realize that everything is mind, body, spirit. And when you balance those energies, when you balance mind, body, spirit, when you balance the energies of the divine masculine, the energies of the divine feminine, and their qualities, they're not, divine masculine isn't a man, divine feminine isn't a woman. We are men and women, but the whole point is that they're actually qualities, they're energies that are within us. When you find those qualities of the child, the children's fire, that sacred child energy at play, because that's what you're doing. You're playing and not giving a flying fig of anybody else. You're not letting the ego sort of go, oh, should I be doing this, or all this, that, and you're just going with it, and it's freaking awesome. You actually do what I do on ice. which is pretty cool. Because because the whole thing is when I get bored, that's how I skate. I just move and twist and turn and do all the sort of stuff, and move my body according to the energy. And because I've always said in skating is that ice skating, roller skating is the closest you get to being energy itself. And what you're doing, you're doing the closest thing to being pure energy. You're twisting and turning your body. The mighty Bruce Lee would be quite, he would definitely he would bow to you, because of the fact of he talks about is that the true nature of martial arts, the true nature of energy work is to be able, if you want to move, to be able to do whatever you need to make your body so supple that you can twist and turn and create the form, make the energy flow in whatever way you need to, and you are a representation of that. And that is very, very cool. I mean, this is what people don't get, is that true martial arts is not about fighting. True martial arts is about personal development. True martial arts is about it being able to take the physical body and expand it into ways that seem impossible. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're achieving. Is allowing yourself to be that free that your body can do what it needs to. So hats off to you, my friend. It's all good. So how can we find you if people want to see more of what you do, or learn to do something similar to what you do? How can we find you?
Well, you can tap into the symbol that I have on Instagram, and that's the most important way that you're gonna find what I have to offer is meditating on this symbol that I have posted on Instagram. It's way down the bottom, but it contains everything that I am, and the phrase that was given to me by the hyperdimensional light being is Anecdotal Myers, and so that phrase along with that symbol is key to my chi. But other than that, I have Instagram, YouTube, hyper_meta.
Yeah. He's on Instagram. He's hyper_meta. And I've got up the YouTube here. I'm just trying to find this symbol that you're talking. I think I've seen it. Oh, there it is.
It's spray green on a bridge.
Okay. Spraying created green on a bridge.
It's down, way down.
I see it. I think yes.
That symbol represents bringing heaven on earth through the four corners of the temple of the body.
It's just I just have to do a couple of twizzles to get that. So yes, so that symbol there, you mean?
Yep.
Oh, cool. So meditate on that, guys. Maybe. Look him up on YouTube, Stephen Lisa. Also on Instagram, Meta Hyper. Did I say that?
I'm Stephen Lisa on Facebook as well.
Yeah. And Stephen Lisa on Facebook as well. So there's a couple of ways you can find him, guys. And like I say, I'm a very, I love Qigong and I love the stuff I do. But, when I do my ice skating, it's very similar to what you do. I've taken the moves and I take the Qigong and I do it in a different way. I do it in a different form. But I always have great respect for people who do what I do without doing what I do, meaning they do it in their own way, they do it in their own form. It's very, very cool. And the fact that you tick the boxes by like you said, it energizes you, it allows you to do certain stuff. To me, you're a Taoist, you're a Qigong practitioner as well. You do your own form of Qigong. And that isn't a bad thing. That's the whole point, is that finding your own way isn't bad. If anything, it's important. It's good. You learn in Taoism, you learn everything I learn to then forget it. but not to forget it, as in don't do it, is you just then you throw out the rule book. You just do what needs to be done. You go with that flow. So, and that's the whole point. So Kimberly saying, indeed, we are all 11 again. Yep. But the whole point was we were never meant to grow up. That's the truth.
Yes.
That you go further back is that this is what the Taoists say: be like a child, take responsibility like an adult, and be like a child.
Yes.
But what they mean is to play, is to have fun, is not to care about looking silly, because there is no looking silly. There is no good or bad. There just is.
Breaking down that habitual conditioning, looking at the moment in wonder at all the possibilities of how you can live this moment totally different, totally new compared to what you used to do in the past one.
What he said. Very, very much so. And that's the whole point. We are meant to be free, whether that's free in the body, like you are, whether it's free in the mind, whether it's free in the emotions. We're not meant to be restricted. We're not meant to restrict ourselves, and we're not meant to be restricted. And that's what is meant by be like a child.
What I say is make a meta habit of breaking habits.
I like that. Yeah. Make a meta habit of breaking habits. That's cool. I like that. Or just be like Boggy and just destroy the rule book, set it on fire, eat it, make it into a sandwich, whatever works. But and that's cool. And I think, I truly believe is that the more people actually just follow that, the more people just do that. It's like, yes, we all need to, at the moment, we don't live in a Star Trek society, or we don't live in an Ubuntu society, which in essence is what Star Trek is based on, is Ubuntu, which is an ancient African tribal sort of way of living, which is all balanced. But at the moment, we still have to earn money. We still have to, go and do stuff. But the whole point is, when you're not doing that stuff, go and be free, go and play, go and go and find ways to connect with nature, with the universe, with the different dimensions, whatever you want to call them. What this guy here does, find your version of that. My version of it is mine. His version of this is his. Find yours, but don't be restricted. Don't get clogged down on too many rules and regulations. Find ways to twist and turn. Find ways to go with the flow. Find your own freedom. Find your own balance. But as any good Taoist should say, hey, what do I know? So, okay, cool. So is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Not really. I guess, like you said, it pretty much be yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and you do a very good job of that. I must say, I love your I love your Instagram. Definitely love your Instagram profile. Like I say, that's really, really cool. It even inspires me. So hello, dog. By the way, so wherever the dog is. So, but yeah, it inspires me. So keep doing what you're doing, Sifu. It's working. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this show. It's definitely one of the more different ones that I've done, and like I say, I love shows like this as well because you bring a different edge, a different variation to the show. So thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you.
It's been a great pleasure. More than welcome. So everybody else, let me actually with my phone because this way I remember I can promote the next group of shows. So tomorrow is Saturday, so that means I will be seeing my daughter in Worthing, but it also means that tomorrow means that Brittany, who has actually been on the Way of Conscious Mindfulness Network, she's done readings, she's done a couple of reading shows with me. Brittany will be on the Way of Conscious Mindfulness tomorrow which is 5 o'clock UK time, which is 12 o'clock Eastern time. And I'm not going to attempt to do any more time zones in America because I won't remember them. But if you're in Eastern, or if you know Eastern time, you can figure out your time zone, then all is cool. So that is tomorrow. Then Sunday. So Sunday, we have 6:30 UK time, which is 1:30 Eastern time, and then you go from there. We have Ranjit Singh on the Way of Conscious Mindfulness. We then have we then have at also on Sunday at 8 o'clock at night UK time, which is 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. Dog. 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. We have Jean Power. She will also be on the Way of Conscious Mindfulness, and then finally on Sunday. So it's actually midnight UK time, which is 7 o'clock Eastern time. We have the mighty Jakra Chakra doing the Shaman Chronicles for Sunday. So his show will be on Sunday, and then it starts all over again. So that's sort of the shows coming up. Krista is Krista's actually doing a Way of Conscious Mindfulness show on Saturday and Sunday. I normally don't give you away the secrets, but that's who's going to be doing the show. But maybe I might be there too. You never know. So that's what's coming up for this weekend. So that's it for now. So guys, I hope you enjoy the show. Stephen, don't go anywhere just yet. But everybody else, hope you enjoyed the show. It's been a great show. Take care. Bye for now. So it's goodbye for the wonderful Stephen. It's goodbye for myself, Seafood Boggy, and it's goodbye from the show, The Way of Conscious Mindfulness. So until next time, love, Chi, and Shen. See you later, guys. Bye for now.